Hey everyone, welcome back to AntLab Games. The year is 1940. The month, April. We are about to go on our fourth patrol in our Type 7A U-boat, U-27, commanded by Commandant Stubing and crew. So as we left off, one of our crew, the engineer, was actually skilled up, which is nice. And our total tonnage for this campaign so far is 27,300. So not great, but not terrible. So that, let's see what our patrol assignment is, and we will get underway. Okay, so now that we're in April of 1940, we move into the next column here for our patrol assignments. So there are going to be some differences, but there's a whole lot of British Isles. And we roll a 9, and a 9 is, lo and behold, the British Isles. So that's what we'll do again. Alright, so we will begin our transit. And we've got to do 2 transits, so let's see if we can get out unscathed. Alright, so we are going to do transit. Let's see what we get. We roll a 6, we get nothing. And for our second, we roll an 8, and we get nothing. So, clean transit. And we're going to enter the British Isles. So the first leg, let's see what we encounter. Okay, so British Isles. Our first go, we roll a 7. And a 7 in the British Isles is nothing. Well, uneventful. So I'm going to slide us into the next British Isles patrol point. See what we find. We roll a 6. And a 6 is a ship plus escort. Alright, similar to a convoy except it's going to be just one ship. So we'll roll for day or night. So the encounter is going to be at night, which is good. And we will roll for the ship size. And I roll a 5, which is a large freighter. Very good. Let's see what ship we've come across. Okay, so for our large freighter, we roll a 40. And on a 40, it's the Napier Star, 10,100 tons. What a find. Alright, so we're going to get this set up. So we got a night attack. We're probably going to go in at medium range. We've got ourselves a large freighter over 10,000 tons. So if it's greater than 10,000 tons, it's going to take 4 damage before it goes down. And we do have an escort. Right, but we don't know our escort quality yet. We will soon enough. So what we have to decide is, are we going to take a shot, or we can move on by, but we absolutely want to sink this ship. There's no question about it. So I'm going to do a full salvo, all 4 torpedoes out of the forward torpedo tubes, and we are going to be submerged at medium range, all steam. So this is an all or nothing attack. I want to take 1 shot and get out of dodge. So let's see what happens. Alright, so we've got 4 torpedoes, 4 steam torpedoes. So we are at medium range. We need to roll a 7 or less to hit. Let's see if we have any modifiers here. No, not a night surface. I don't have leaves. Not a green crew. Blah blah blah. Not a second salvo. Not electronic or electric torpedoes. And nobody's hurt. So we're good. Let's roll and see what our torps do. Right? So, like I said, 2d6. I need a 7 or less to hit, medium range. It's a 6. That's a hit. 5, hit. 5, hit. 6, hit. All 4 hit. Now let's check the dud chart. So I will roll the first 2 that hit. You only need to roll 1d6, but I'll roll 2 at a time to make this quicker. So it is 1940. G7A steams, a 1 or a 2. So a 1 or a 2 is a dud. I roll a 2, so 1 hit, 1 dud. 1 hit, 1 dud. So 2 hits detonate, so now we need to roll damage. So again, 1d6, I'll roll both of these to see what our damage is. And I roll a 6 and a 2. The 2 does 3 damage, the 6 does 1, for a total of 4 damage. And I think that was just enough. Alright, so all 4 torpedoes hit, but we had 2 duds. 2 detonated and did 4 damage. Boom. Large freighter has been sunk. So now we can add the Napier Star, 10,100 tons, to our tally. But we have an escort to deal with. Now we need to see what his quality is going to be. So we need to roll 1d6 for quality. And we roll 6. And a 6 is actually a bad roll here, because now we've got a veteran escort. So he's going to get +1 bonus to his rolls here. So let's see if he can detect us now. Alright, so let's remember he gets +1. So he's going to definitely get that +1 modifier, but I don't think we take any others, right? No injuries, we're not at long range. It wasn't a night surface attack. So he's just going to get the +1, and the year is still 1940, so no more. So roll 2d6. We need a 7 or less. And we roll a 3. Perfect roll. So we are undetected. So in and out. Awesome. Alright, so we are going to have to reload our forward torpedo bays. And we've got a whole lot of electric, which is not good. But we don't have a choice. But we are also going to move into our third leg of the British Isle Patrol. Third leg of the British Isle Patrol. What do we find? We roll a 10. A 10 is a convoy. Wow. Alright, let's see what we find. Alright, let's see if we're day or night first. We roll a 2, it is daytime. And we are going to determine ship size. So we'll roll for the first 2 ships. We roll a 3 and a 5, so we have a small and a large. And a small and a large. So 2 small, 2 large freighters. Alright, let's see what the 2 large freighters are. If they're big enough, I'm not going to bother identifying the 2 smalls, because I'm not going to even take a shot at them. So the first one is 37, which is the Laurentic at 18,700 tons. Oh my god. Alright, so we're definitely going after him. And a 16, which is the Rothsay Castle for 7,000 tons. We are going all at the Laurentic. That's our main target. Alright, so remember we're facing an escort. We're going at medium range. We are in the day. This large freighter, the Laurentic, is greater than 10,000 tons, so it's going to take 4 damage. These guys really don't matter. And they're all definitely going to be less than 10,000, so I'm only going after him, so it doesn't even matter what those other ships are, because I'm going to take this shot and get out. So I'm going to apply all 4 torpedoes, 3 electric, 1 steam, for this attack. And that's the best I can do. And it's a day attack. I could wait till night. But if I do, I could potentially lose this convoy, and I don't really want to do that. So I think we're going to do a submerged day attack. So with torpedoes. Well, let's see what happens. All right, so I've got 4 torpedoes at medium range. So we've got we need a 7 or less to hit. I do have a G7E at medium range, so it's going to be +1 for all 3 of those. not great, but let's start with the first. So our steam torpedo, which is not going to have any modifiers, right? I need a 7 or less. So I roll a 6. So the steam torpedo hits. Now I've got 3 electrics, and it's all going to be +1 on these. So that's a 12, that's a miss. That's an 8 + 1 is 9, that's a miss. And that's a 3 + 1 is 4, that's a hit. So 2 hits, 2 misses. Now we've got to check duds, right? So it's 1940. The steam is a 1 to 2, the electric is a 1 to 3. So we'll do the steam. It's a 2, it's a dud. Electric, it's a 6, it's a hit. Let's see what kind of damage our 1 torpedo is going to do. It's terrible. So I need to roll a 1, or this ship's not going down. I rolled a 2, 3 damage. So I did 3 out of the 4 on this bad boy. Pretty bad attack. Alright, so only one of my, well, 2 of my torpedoes hit, but only one of them detonated. And we did 3 damage to this guy. So now we need to roll to see what the escort quality is. And I rolled a 1, so actually a 1 is quite a good roll for escorts in checking quality, because a 1 means that they're green. And a green escort gets -1 to their roll. So let's check out our modifiers. Remember, it was daytime, and we shot a G7A torpedo, just 1, which was probably a waste. But they're going to get +1, but they do get -1 because they're green, so that's flat. So it's going to be 0. 0 modifiers. So we are going to get Alright, so we're going to get a shot here. Let's see what happens. 8 or less. He rolled an 8. 8 or less undetected, so didn't find us. Awesome. So now we're going to see about following this damaged ship so we can finish it off. Alright, since we're still undetected, we automatically get to follow a damaged ship for an additional round of combat, right? So we do have to roll a 1d6 to see if it's still escorted or if they left it behind. So I roll a 2, and a 2, a 1 to 4 is escorted. 5 or 6 would have been unescorted. So I still have to deal with it, right? So it's escorted. The damaged ships stay together, and then I can actually go back into combat again. So we'd have to roll for day or night. All right, so day or night. We roll a 6, it is nighttime, which is good. And we are going to do, I think, a surface attack. Alright, we're going to do a surface attack. So we've got 1 torpedo, and I'm going to fire my aft torpedo tube as well for 1 steam. And hope to finish off this freighter. Alright, let's see what happens here. Okay, so just so that everybody understands, it's a night surface attack, so what it's allowing me to do is fire a second salvo from the opposite end of the sub. So my first salvo is going to be from the forward torpedo tubes where I only have 1 G7E torpedo. I'm allowed to fire an immediate second salvo from the aft, which I have 1 G7A steam, but it's going to affect my modifiers when for detection. And it's going to be harder to hit. So basically, but you have to do it all at once. You have to declare it now. I can't just shoot from the front and then say, oh, well, I'm going to shoot from the back now. No, I got to do it all at once. So I'm going to take 2 shots. 1 with electric, 1 with the steam. And we're going to see what happens, right? So, like right here, second salvo torpedo is +1. So I'm going to get a +1 modifier. The G7E is another +1 modifier. So I'm going to get +2. And it's a night surface torpedo. So I'm actually going to get -1. So it's actually going to be a +1 total modifier for the first torpedo, my electric. Right? So I roll a 10. That's a miss anyway. So now I'm going to shoot my aft torpedo. Actually, that was my... Well, it didn't matter. So actually I get the modifiers on this. That was my steam. That was my first salvo. So I didn't have to do a +1, so it would have been 0. Now it's my second salvo. I'm firing my steam. So I'm going to get -1 for the surface and +1, so this one's flat as well. So I just need a 7 or less to hit, and I roll a 9. I'm going to use my Hals und Beinbruch to get my reroll here and hope that I hit. Medium range, 7 or less. I roll an 8. Absolutely terrible. So both torpedoes miss. I used up my luck. I now have to roll for detection, right? So let's see if we are detected. So remember, we have light surface attack, so it's going to be +1. And that's it. And they're still, I'm going to keep the same escort is green, so it's going to be flat. I'm going to go with that. I'll probably have to re-roll, but I think thematically it makes sense that they stayed with the hurt ship. So let's go ahead and re-roll a roll. So we roll a 4, totally undetected. So that's it. I'm pretty much out of torpedoes. I have 1 shot left. So what do I do? Do I keep following this guy to see if there's a shot? I said, why not, right? I mean, can we not keep following this guy? Keep getting away. All right, let's roll to see if he's still escorted. And I roll a 3. So he is still escorted. I've got 1 torpedo left in my aft tube, so I'm going to take that shot. So these are gone. I'm going to take my final shot. It is a 3 is daytime, so we are in the day. We are obviously going to do a submerged attack, but I'm going to do 1 shot. So let's see if we can take 1 final shot and finish this guy off. Alright, so we are at medium range. We are not affected by any of these. It's just 1 shot. We just need a 7 or less. And we roll a 7, so we hit. Roll for dud. G7A Steam, 1940. It's a 1 or a 2. We roll a 6. It is not a dud. Damage chart. I roll a 4. 1 damage. 1 damage is enough to kill this guy. So we sank the large freighter, but we are now facing detection. So again, we G7A torpedo during the day is a +1, but they're green, so it's a -1, 0. We roll a 6, get away again. So that's going to end this encounter. And we are going to collect 18,700 tons to the log. Alright, we're going into transit. Completely out of torpedoes. Alright, for the first transit we roll a 6, no contact. Second transit we roll a 9, no contact. So we're safely back in port and another successful patrol. Alright, back in port for our refit. No damage, so we're only going to be out a month. So the month of May. We're going to pick back up in June of 1940. Reloaded all of our torpedoes. We don't have much time to refit, so I think we're going to get right back out to the next patrol. Our tonnage total for Captain Stubing and U-27 is now 56,100 tons. Huge haul that round. So I think we're well on our way, getting towards our 100,000 tonnage target by the end of the first year if we have another couple patrols like that. So that was nice and easy. We had great rolls avoiding escort detection, and pulling that huge large freighter was fantastic, even though we had to pretty much use every last torpedo we had on it. But hey, I think it was successful overall.